So I was recently asked to give some examples of some workflows that I have AI doing now instead of me. And I think being able to talk about the evolution of my AI integration over the past 3 months will really be able to explain like how my workflows work, I guess. So I'll talk about that. And again, I apologize if this is just kind of like some incoherent brain dump kind of discussion. This is like the most efficient use of my time is to not prepare. So let's just get into it. So the evolution of my AI integration over the past 3 months is, to start off, I would describe it like I was kind of building all of these individual pieces or like parts. Yeah, like parts of a car. I'm not a car designer. I don't know why I use that, but you know what? We're gonna run with it. So like parts of a car, and this is where the most of my time is spent. It's kind of like showing AI how parts work, and having it understand how just like a whole bunch of parts of my systems and processes and business and like properties kind of work. Like all that time is spent just there. And then kind of like the next phase would be to connect some of the parts. You know, if it's in a car, if we're making parts for a car, like the next phase would be to connect a couple of the car parts, and then, you know, make sure that those modules kind of like work. So like a module would be like, you know, like the engine, like make sure all these little parts together, like the engine's going. And then another module would be maybe like the back seat, like, okay, we got the back seat, like is there cup holders and these other things going on? And then maybe another module will be like the wheels. Okay, are the wheels good, right? So all these things like individually are kind of necessary to make the car, but we're not working on the car yet. We're just like working on all the individual parts. So then the next phase, obviously, would be we put all the parts together, you know, and we have the car, right? And the car is AI. Yeah, the car is AI. Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. Okay, so the car is AI, and I'm getting in the car and we're driving, right? And I'm driving the car and it's only going like 10 feet and then it's breaking down. So, and it's breaking down a lot, right? So every single time it breaks down, we like fix it. Like, why aren't all these parts kind of like just working together? Like, where's the piece broken, right? And a lot of time is spent on that. Like that part, you know, the parts themselves, putting the modules together are kind of like quick, but then putting all of the parts together and getting the car, like that, and getting the car working takes like a lot of time. Or, well, not a lot of time, it's only 3 months, right? But now the car, you know, it's breaking down a lot, but we're iterating very quickly. It's like, you know, something breaks in the car, I can only drive at 10 feet, but then we fix it, and we fix it fast, right? And you're doing that like very quickly. You know, you're over here driving like 5 feet, you know, now a mile, okay, now this is breaking down, and then is driving, but like some of these, like the radio's not working, right? So we're like fixing all these things for the car, like again, for AI. AI is the car, but I'm driving it and I'm doing it like kind of manually, driving the car. Now the next phase, you know, once the car is good to go and it's like a car, the next phases go so quickly, because now the next phase is, bam, now you're a self-driving car. Like automatically, like, okay, you're a self-driving car. So now I'm getting in the car, you know, and like I'm behind the wheel. I'm like, you go, you do your thing, right? But I have to like put my hand on the wheel or my foot on the brake or the gas, like a lot. Like it's kind of like the car itself, but the self-driving version, right? We're going like, you know, not that far until I'm like, whoa, nope, that's the wrong decision, right? Or like, oh, nope, don't do that, you know? So it's kind of like we're iterating very quickly. Self-driving car phase, iterating very quickly, and again, it's like, I'm like, go faster, like do things better, right? Which doesn't help, but you know, the car itself is like, but we can't, you told us not to do this, remember? We agreed in the game plan that these are my safety things, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right, forgot, we got all those safety things, but you're still fine-tuning, right? You're doing things safely, you're like, fine-tuning it so that it's efficient, safe, security, like all these things for this self-driving car. So the next phase is, you're in the car and it's driving and you're not really doing anything anymore. You're kind of like just sitting back watching it and you're like, yeah, okay, you know what? We're done. Like, this is boring to me. I'm getting out. I'm getting out of the car. You go AI car. You go do whatever you're gonna do. Or well, you know what you're gonna do. You're doing all the stuff that I told you to do, right? So now I'm out of the car. The car, the self-driving AI car, is now doing the things. It's going around, picking up guests, taking care of things, running errands, right? It's doing all these things, but it's still kind of like having some issues, right? So it's like calling me. Like, this is where like the self-driving car is like calling me. It's like, hey, I have a problem, like, something broke down. I'm like, okay, come on home, right? And it could only call me at home. That's where like this thing that's the key here. It can only call me at home and we can only fix things at home. So it's calling me and I'm like, okay, but something's broken, like come on in, we're gonna fix you. But then other times it's calling me and it's like, hey, like, I don't know what to do with this guest. Like, it says it, like, they wanna do this thing, like, is that cool? Like stuff like that, right? I'm like, okay, I'll let you know, just like all these kind of like questions and issues. So we're fixing the self-driving car, and we're fixing it at home. Right? And this is kind of like where a little bit of like a pain point is starting to happen, but I'm not aware of it just yet. That's the key. It really starts to become clear when my self-driving car is it's calling me and it's leaving me voicemail messages or whatever. And I am out and about. I'm not at home, but I'm out and about. And I'm like calling into my voicemail message system for the car, the AI car. And I'm like, oh man, okay, it left me a message. Oh, something's wrong. And I was like, damn, I gotta go home. Like, cause the only time I could work on the car and the AI stuff and like coordinate things is when I'm at home. So this is like the pain point that I was dealing with. And then that spawned like the control center dashboard, where I basically was like, hey, we're all good, but you know what? I really need to be able to talk to you when I'm not at home. We keep doing the home base hub thing. Like, dude, I need to do something where when I'm out and about, I want you to be able to call me on my phone, and then I could call you too and tell you what to do when I see stuff, right? And I'm like, so can you do this? And it was like, yes, we can. I was like, oh, okay, how's this gonna work? And it's like, well, it told me what it's gonna do. I was like, okay, I don't understand any of that. Make it happen, right? So in one day, it's spun up like this control center dashboard and basically allowed me to kind of like do all the things, all the critical things that I needed to do, kind of like at home, but when I was not at home, right? And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So it's now AI self-driving car is out there picking up guests, doing things, and I'm out doing whatever I want, and I'm like calling it. I'm like, hey, this other guest really wants this, or like there's this issue, like we gotta handle this, right? And again, most of the stuff that I'm talking about with like guests and issues, those were already gonna like be taken care of automatically. So let me just explain that part. They were always gonna be like done automatically. It was just gonna be not efficient. It was gonna eventually get to it, kind of thing. Like, it has like its job list and stuff that I want it doing, but it's gonna do them in like certain priority orders. So like for me to kind of like be able to call it and be like, no, do this other thing that I really want you to do first, because I'm the manager, I'm the orchestrator. That's kind of what I wanted that ability to do, just to be more efficient. So that's kind of where, where the 3 months took me, right? Is within the 3 months, that's what kind of happened. The parts, the modules, the car breaking down, self-driving, and then remote access. All kind of like very quickly, that would be like the summary. Now, to relate it to like business operations, you're probably like, oh, who cares about the car, man? You're not telling me anything. Think of like the parts as kind of like SOPs, where you're giving like the knowledge of your standard operating procedures to AI. So when you're making the parts, it's like all these SOPs, right? You're just giving like a whole bunch of SOPs. And then kind of like the modules and then the car itself, think of like combining SOPs to like be like a very big task, not just like something small. And then kind of like if you categorize a whole bunch of SOPs, that would probably be like the car itself. And then the whole thing automatically doing that, like that big catalog of SOPs, like this total like, management of a certain area, automatically would be the self-driving version. So that would be kind of like how you would relate to that. Now, to give an example of a workflow, now that you have that understanding of, how the individual things kind of work underneath. One of the workflows that I'm doing right now that didn't exist before, and AI labeled this, I didn't come up with this awesome name, it just kind of like made sense. It's like, this is what we're doing, I don't know what to call it, was the revenue opportunity funnel. And the workflow for this, to give a specific example, is this situation. When a guest leaves and my cleaner comes in to clean the house for the next guest, if they finish early, then AI will notice that and let the next guest that checks in know, hey, you can check in early, and it'll change the code access to allow them to check in early, because we don't want to give them, the guest early access if the cleaner's still there, right? There's a standard check-in time. So it'll adjust that, let the guests know that they can check in early, and then if they do take advantage of it, then if there's a fee, there's a revenue there. There's an opportunity to get, make more money. So if that happens, then they will send in the fund request for the extra money if we detect that they checked in early, and then that kind of closes that whole gap of we bank that money, right? That extra revenue. And another example, which is the same kind of revenue opportunity funnel, is in this workflow. The other situation is after a guest actually checks in, then AI will present them with an offer to, extend their current stay, only if, that actually makes sense. Like there's not another guest checking in like right after them. So when we present this offer, like, hey, by the way, there's a discount if you extend your stay, just let us know. Then if the guest actually takes advantage of that, then we will bank, that extra money. And this actually happened today. So to give the real world example, a guest checked in last night, and then today they were presented with the revenue opportunity. Do you want to extend your stay? They're like, how much would it cost? How much extra for like just one day? And then AI was like, oh, it's going to cost this much. And they're like, oh, okay. You know what? That actually would be good. And that's what the guest said. So they actually put in the request for the extension, and then AI accepted it, and then drafted yeah, we got your request, you're all good. We accepted it. We're all good to go. And that happened all like kind of automatically. So that whole situation kind of happened over lunch. And it's an example of something that I wasn't even doing before, and now it's kind of being handled automatically. And again, it's connecting a lot of different things to kind of like monitor and then, message and all the like funds requests and accepting things. And again, most of these items, I'm kind of like giving you like a high level overview of what's going on. There's like, I would say conditions and like guardrails and like security policies that are in place for all of my stuff. So when I'm talking about it, like it's very like, yes, this is happening, but there's a very big checklist and things that, are going on in the background to make sure that it's exactly what I want and nothing kind of like slips by. And with this, with any workflow, I always have the opportunity to, prevent it or step in or do anything, right? It's gonna automatically happen on the natural like course if I just let it go, but I always have visibility, and that's kind of one of the other things that is built into that. It's like I'm always aware of what's going on. I'll take a look and be like, oh, okay, I saw all this stuff happened, but I'm not the one doing it anymore. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and that's kind of like an example of a couple of workflows, or it's the same workflow, just like different ways to do it. And yeah, as far as like the car analogy, hopefully that kind of makes sense. I don't know why like a self-driving car is kind of what I went with, but it makes sense in my head, pick up guests and stuff. So Now you might be wondering what I'm working on now, and that is kind of like to, with all of the, after 3 months, I feel like now I have a little bit more free time due to AI, taking over a lot of these things to, again, work on the business instead of in the business. So the goal right now, or at least what I'm working on, is more of the normal area that AI gets to, which is now I'm trying to have basically have the car like fix itself. We're in the the self-fixing, self-healing, self-auditing phase where I want to call it up and be like, hey car, are you doing anything right now? Okay, you're not doing anything right now. Okay, you know what? Can you like fix some stuff and like work on on yourself? Yeah, good. You do that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And yeah, hopefully these examples kind of make sense and help you understand a couple of my workflows.